And I've seen someone, and I see a service uniform, and I get all like, and I go over there to scream at him for one of the service uniform at Pony Convention, and it's Cosmo.
It's about time to get started here, so I'll start out by starting out. This is a BronyCon 2015, wondering about the Wonderbolts.
Not this again. Yes!
Sorry, I had a burrito for lunch.
Hello, Baltimore. How's everybody like the convention so far? Is everybody having fun?
Yeah. Fun.
Hey, hold on. Time out. Did you just, has that been on that script since 2013?
I'll wait till somebody laughs before I take it off. All right. My name is Silvermane, brand new commander and Pony Convention liaison for FOB Equestria. For those of you who don't know what FOB means, it stands for Forward Operating Base. It usually means you're a remote location where military members are stationed to accomplish a certain task that doesn't require the construction of a permanent base. So anyway, like I said, my name is Silvermane. I've been in the military in one form or another since 1977.
Yeah, his first chaplain was Jesus.
That's right. Right now I'm in the Air Force. Let's see, I first got in the Phantom in mid-2012, and now it's time for some more introduction. We'll start right over here with Mr. Guide on.
Up your working area. Yut. I'm Moto 2.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
No!
I'm Moto 250X. I'm on FOB Equestria in Semper Philly. I've been in the Army since 2012, and yeah, this was kind of unexpected, so glad to hear.
Yut!
I am Spangle. I'm with FOB Equestria. I do various assorted of things. I'm in the U.S. Air Force, and yeah, I fix airplanes for my job.
Maintainer!
I'm Red Sage. I've been active duty with the Air Force for about a year now. I fly a BD-5D model. For those of you who don't know, that's a big desk with 5 drawers.
Chair Force. The Air Force on here. I know, right?
Favoritism!
Alright, I'm Jake the Army Guy. I have,
Of course, famous.
Let me have your illegitimate children!
no thank you. I'm a public affairs broadcast journalist for the U.S. Army. I've been serving since 2003, and my claim to fame is I'm a fan fiction writer, and I also do anything I can on camera to get a laugh. For example, I recently got pepper spray for no reason whatsoever.
I saw that. It was hilarious.
It really was!
Alright, I am Josh Scorcher. I am
Horse famous.
I was one of the founding members of FOB Equestria. I've been here since the very first BronyCon. Yeah, and what I do for the FOB right now is I make taking too seriously reviews. I don't like to call them analyses because they're really not.
He was in the band.
Yes, I was in the Marine Corps. I was in the band, and it was awesome. And right now I'm going to college on the GI Bill, which you should all do because the government essentially pays you to go to college. It's awesome.
Isn't that
Use your benefits.
in the band, the Marines? Isn't that like being the janitor at a fire station?
It basically is.
Hey, we're all military members. We're all glorified janitors anyway.
We do nothing but catch shit all day, every day.
Watch your language.
Yeah, well, this janitor also got to play at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in Louisiana, so.
All right.
You and your DD2.
Title 9, go.
I am Caroline Nightmare, and I am your FOB Equestria princess. You can thank my horses for that. I'm actually not military. I'm a civilian. I just hang around the FOB and help out when I can.
Our first groupie. We're so
Yeah, she's household 6 for Mish.
Yes.
Otherwise pronounced Michelle.
But still. I actually joined the FOB back in 2014. Just some of my friends and watching the videos, and yeah. And a little fact, my mom thought FOB Equestria was originally a dating site.
It is.
Well, apparently it is. You found your boyfriend on it.
All right, who we got next?
My name is Sonderhoof. I am your friendly neighborhood moderator for FOB Equestria. I've been in the military.
Yeah. He's the guy we're supposed to listen to.
He carries the band hammer.
Yes, I am one of the most weaponized people of FOB Equestria. That's what I am. I spent
He's the guy we ignored.
I spent 6 years in the Marine Corps. I had a deployment to Iraq and Afghanistan. I was officially supposed to be computer guy, IT tech, all that nonsense, but I also had to do gate guard duty too. I was one of the founding members, and I will all ban you for toasters if need be.
So, am I the only one on stage that was actually combat arms at some point?
I actually was combat arms as gate guard. It just
Again, fire janitor to fire.
I did guard duty. Does that qualify me as well? No. I did tower and gate and roving patrol.
Just sit down and enjoy your chair horse.
They're very comfy.
You say you'll ban me from FOB Equestria for toasters, but what about toaster repair ponies?
I'll still do it. I don't care. No mercy.
FOB Equestria guy, where's Little Pit?
Where's Little Pit? Toaster repair ponies.
There we go.
All right, guy on guy at the end.
I'm the token FNG. I've only been watching the show for like a year. Just finished an 8-year tour, U.S. Air Force, flying KC-10s as a flight engineer. And mainly did close air support, orbits, and transport.
All right. Like I said, as I hope you all know, the panel exploring the question of what the heck are the Wonderbolts? There are several theories about that, which different panelists here will discuss. Basically, the right one, mine, and everybody else's. In fact, we have a slideshow for that. One slideshow, and we got this one. First, we have an introduction slide, and as you have heard, this is put on by the fine folks at FOB Equestria, and these people right here.
Who are they? What's
Unfortunately, we have a few disclaimer slides we have to go through. Don't blame us, the lawyers made us do it. Here's one. Blah, 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 blah. Military, United States Army, Article 15.
We don't own the show. We don't speak for the military.
Thanks, Larson. This right here, Hasbro owns everything, and we use it hoping they won't notice, and we love them all to death. All right. Let's go with all my Hasbro. We're putting the IPs up. Wherever you see a show out there, just pretend that that IP is there.
Trying to rip off Robin
Hood. This show sucks.
This is the worst I've ever seen.
Why not?
When they cross on the street.
I'm an officer. Yeah. We'll make these guys do it.
Oh, really? That's basically why I'm not up there.
I've got to get my nose organized here, so pretend to slide in here.
We don't need to read this.
Oh my gosh. Really? Those exits are blocked. You cannot leave.
So far, I'm just going to talk about the Wonderbolt using canon material, because when you go into fanfic section, it turns completely spaghetti immediately.
You trying to block that? Mr. Analyzing everything, really?
Some of my esteemed colleagues here up on the stage with me labor under the unfortunate delusion that the Wonderbolts are some sort of a question Olympic team or something. Let's demonstrably construct right now, shall we? To begin with, until testing 1, 2, 3, we really didn't have a real idea of what they were, or backstory about them, just some references in various episodes, starting in episode 1, season 1, when Twilight Sparkle calls them the Wonderbolts, the best flyer in Equestria, and that's about it. Next in the Ticketmaster is a little more. Apparently Rainbow Dash has some routines that will get her into the Wonderbolts, but what they will use those routines for seems to be simply entertainment for the Candlelight Elite, as we got right here.
Yeah, but... Yes! This is so awesome! The Wonderbolts perform at the Grand Galloping Gala every year. I can see it now. Everyone would be watching the sky. They're all riveted on the Wonderbolts. But then, they would fly Rainbow Dash!
Who was immediately arrested for trespassing.
And banned from all future performances.
And we never see the Buccaneer Blaze either.
So amazing, it can't be shown on screen.
Fantastic Billy Flash!
And that's when everything went totally wrong.
And for my grand finale, the Buccaneer Blaze!
Class A mishap in 3, 2, 1.
Kaboom! The Wonderbolts would insist that my signature moves be incorporated into their routine.
And thus was born the Soren Dash ship.
Oh my.
So yeah.
And okay.
So yeah, from this point on, I probably thought, a lot of us thought they were like the Blue Angels.
Exactly. And then some other stuff happened. In the Ticketmaster, Rainbow Dash has some, let's see. They're mentioning the best night ever. Rainbow Dash bursts into song about him, part of which mentions being showered with diamonds, hardly a motivation for an athletic team, besides which, as far as we can tell, they aren't competing against any other pony teams.
Been dreaming, I've been waiting to ride with those great ponies. The Wonderbolts, their daring tricks, spinning round and having hits. Or for thousands, they'll shower us with diamonds. The Wonderbolts will see me right here at the gala.
Even Applejack face tests at your antics.
All right, in the next slide we have Spitfire mentioning to Soren that he's always hungry after a show, not a competition.
Always hungry after a show, eh, Soren?
Yeah!
All right,
what you say?
You saved it. Thanks.
Hey, no problem.
Dude!
Hey! You're the pony that saved us in Clydesdale and won the best flyer competition.
Hey, yeah! Name's Rainbow Dash.
Like you've never seen her
Rainbow
like
Dash.
when she saved
Looks
your
like
life.
your skills saved us again.
She was unconscious.
Well, at least they saved Soren's apple pie.
Hey, apple pie is very important.
And thus was born the Soren Jack ship.
Why not?
Yep.
I'm hanging with the Wonderbolts!
Every brownie meeting horse famous.
It's true.
Don't deny it.
All right, the next one is Sweet and Elite. We have some other kind of derby for some weird reason.
Welcome to the Wonderbolts Derby! The competitors are taking their places at the starting line and the racing will begin momentarily.
I'll be rooting for Rapid Fire, of course. He's sure to take home the grand prize.
I don't think there's a chance against Fleetfoot.
Oh, yes.
My daddy buys the racehorse for every day of the week.
Yes, I'm not impressed. You can see my raised eyebrow and cocked eyes.
Am I the only one who's going to bring up the fact that they got an Earth pony up there as the checker flag holder person?
Yeah.
Maybe they used the
That seems one gust of wind away from disaster.
It's right there! Oh wait, they can't even stop a streak of unicorn from falling, so
Maybe
yeah.
they used the cloud.
We're going to see that in a minute. The last few names of the Wonderbolts are sports team coffin. The next slide is a clip from Secret of My Excess where Spike turns into a giant mutant dragon.
Someone gave Spike the shinies.
And the Wonderbolts show up to give him a haircut. or something. Our sports team's also law enforcement and a quick reaction force in Equestria. Watch as they totally save Ponyville from giant spike and not, say, get trapped in an empty water tower. Surely the best fighters in Equestria are better than that, right? It would never happen, right? Let's find out.
Totally. He asked fleetingly.
You're really bad at this, you know.
That got spikes.
Yes, he spiked.
He's all ready for boot camp.
Whoever said that, you win.
Not armor piercing.
Alright, sorry my mistake, they did get trapped in an empty water tower. Alright, any pony can have a bad day. The main thing is that when they get out, they check out to make sure Ponyville is out of danger and not just strike a pose and fly off, right?
Thank God we saved the day.
Big gulps, huh? See you later.
Wow, shots fired. Someone's asking for a beating.
Police line, do not cross.
I was expecting some Nua from a Marine or something.
Hua?
You don't deserve it.
No, that guy's a freaking hua.
Said Nua.
He's a hua! We really didn't have a backstory. Then testing
Coast Guard noises.
We get a little backstory about the Wonderbolts. Apparently they arose out of the Protective Pony Platoon, which arose of the EUP Brigade and was formed to protect Celestia from some unnamed threat. A few flyers from the Pony Platoon were so good at flying around that they formed the Wonderbolts because, well, no reason.
Are you just stealing her stuff?
No.
Jeez, be quiet.
They still keep the military trappings, such as, you know, Wonderbolt Academy. They have military rank even though they were from different services. Admirals and commanders are Navy rank, generals and colonels are Army and Air Force.
So in other words, the writers, the show writers are all Canadian. They have no idea what a military looks like.
I am literally the entire Canadian military.
This one. Commander.
Hey, there's Dusty right there.
Hi, Dusty.
Let's see, one more, two more. Firefly is Firefly.
How meta.
Yes, how meta. And Pinky as?
A Nazi.
Yes.
That's the bingo. That's how you say it, right?
Quiet, you.
I mean, look, they got the little lightning bolts on it.
Yeah, but you don't just say it.
It needed to be said. I'm sorry.
Out with your memes. We've had enough memes.
And finally, when people think about boot camp, they don't think of how it was portrayed in Wonderbolt Academy. They think it's more like
Kindergarten.
Like,
this.
yeah.
Also, I regret nothing. All right, people think it's more like
Who said that?
this.
Technical difficulty.
Okay, in his defense, he said it's just like this, and then everything failed.
Accurate depiction.
And as has been 2 years as a drill sergeant, I can tell you that's usually how it ends up.
Boot camp
There's a lot more
like
sweat
this.
and tears.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the Wonderbolts Derby! The competitors are taking their places at the starting line at...
Do you want me to just start screaming at people and we can say it's like that?
No, you need to drill sergeant cabinet. You actually need to like spit in their faces a little bit.
Okay, everyone form a line, come up here, and I will chew you out and make you feel like crap. Sit down!
We're going to go to Mr. Red Sage now with his presentation. You can go narrate.
Did you just call me a drill insurgent?
Red Sage, go.
So, while you're getting out of here without your sharp or sapper briefing, You're not getting out of here without PowerPoint. So, I thought about the Wonderbolts time and time again looking at them and just had to ask, who the heck are they? And
Brony!
You
had to say next slide, otherwise you didn't do a turn.
Yeah, just say events, or you can come over here and use it.
Okay, we're going to get this really like a PowerPoint presentation. Slide, please.
Welcome to Authentic Military Experience, people. Hi, Dusty.
Okay. But Silvermane here has already demonstrated they have aspects of a sports team, they have aspects in the military, they sometimes behave like first responders, and they seem to be pretty good at what they do, but they don't really fit any of these bills.
Did you really have to pick the sultry Spitfire one too?
Oh, I had to.
Draw me like one of your
It's
French
like,
girls.
you know,
I have a thing for beach balls, okay?
stop.
Okay, so when we think first about sports, they do have several competitions. You're right. Slide, please.
Again, he's already.
Nope. Back.
Never mind. Oh my gosh. The first casualty of any military operation is the plant.
The plant's dead. Okay. So about competitions, there's several times that they have shows, competitions, so on and so forth, yet every single time that they have one of these, you notice every pony up there is in a Wonderbolts uniform. I don't know what you call a sports game, but usually there have to be two teams. You can't compete against yourself and then at the end say, "We won!"
Well, I mean, depending, like if you're playing against the Houston Astros, it pretty much isn't playing against yourself. No, I'm from Houston, so I can say that.
So as already stated, that's a show, not a sport. Maybe equestrian sports, but as far as we know it, they don't hold any semblance to sports. Slide, please.
Yes. The biggest assumption you cannot make is that our world is parallel to their world. It's like big assumptions that people make, like the sun is the same as our sun, and their moon is the same as our moon. Like they're the same size. We cannot make those kinds of assumptions.
Okay, we're getting into tinfoil hat area here in a minute. The sun is actually small. Celestia's a lie.
Okay, so as already noted, they do have some similarities to the Blue Angels. That was initially my first thought. What do they call them? Thunderbirds? Yes. Picture of Blue Angels here.
Thunderbirds go!
As some sort of performing team, they go around, they don't actually have a combat function. They go around and show off to people. The sheer amount of notes I have right here are a little obscene. Okay,
it is disturbing.
So let's start with the uniform here. So they wear some kind of blue spandex uniform. This is what they wear day to day. This is what they wear when they're training. This is what they wear when they're training people. This is what they wear when they're performing. This is what they wear when they're saving the day. This is what they wear when they're seeing VIPs.
So is it what they wear? I'm sorry.
I don't have anything with you.
I probably won't shut up, but keep going.
But it's not a military uniform. This is a sports uniform beyond anything else.
Or a flight suit. Shut up, you.
Okay, let's assume they wear pajamas to everything.
Maybe they just think it looks good.
Do it, man. Sounds like office. Exactly.
Okay.
No, I'm saying exactly to officers. Maybe they're in the band. Yeah.
You guys are never gonna let that go, are you?
Nope. What did you play?
I played the trombone.
So is it accurate to say that you were a Marine tromboner?
And you'll notice there's no Paris price here, so it worked.
You know, but that was the only instrument that she didn't use while playing out the Paris Brights. She only needed it for the very end. She knew we were watching. Yeah. She knew there'd be a pun.
Jake, take your
Forever.
head off.
And speaking of Paris Brights, let's talk about their rank.
And speaking of non sequiturs,
thank you. Thank you very much. The only rank that the Wonderbolts really have is captain, which could just as easily be a sports team. I'm not going to go into the whole wing pony, lead pony, because that's sort of a training thing. They don't really have any military rank.
At least we don't know them yet.
Fair enough. Now, it may be that they're always stacked up against Rainbow Dash. Every time we see the Wonderbolts, they're in some way connected to Rainbow Dash in the show. And maybe it's just because they're paired off against the element of loyalty, but these guys would throw each other to the wolves. I mean, come on, consider the Equestrian Games. Goodbye, Soren. Most military units that I've seen have more loyalty to each other. I'm sure we can all name that one guy.
Well, to be fair, he injured himself because he was distracted by looking at hot girls. Like, that's not the kind of thing you want in your sports team.
That's literally the military right there.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Don't be Blue Falcon, come on.
Oh, well, it's the military except the Air Force.
And lastly, they do have a boot camp, but I think we've drilled this one to death. It's a sports camp, not a boot camp.
His text goes off the page. He gets goes down to the gray area underneath the page.
Oh, no, we are not getting video.
It's like, you know, they get.
Oh shit.
Even though Spitfire did kind of act like a drill sergeant or a drill instructor, who here has seen the movie Drumline?
What? There's a movie Drumline where it's a marching band camp and the guy acted like a drill sergeant / drill instructor. It's like whenever you go to like some sort of those kinds of camps, people do act like that. People do that sort of break you down to build you back up. It's very common.
The only really important thing is the craft that they're honing. When they get to this camp, they're told that they're going to be the very best flyers. They're not told they're going to be the toughest, the most disciplined, the bravest flyer. No. When you graduate the Wonderbolts camp, you're going to be really good at flying. That's not a boot camp.
Yeah, it's also a lot of things about boot camp. They like to instill values within you to assure your loyalty to your branch and to your loyalty to your country. And we didn't see any of that in Wonderbolts Academy. So that's another dent.
Oh, okay. Since we've already moved ahead, so as far as first responders,
Excuse me, princess.
so
Wow. I am okay with that because you went that far back for the reference. Please tell me someone out there got that. Okay, thank you. I was about to feel almost as old as this guy.
Nobody feels that old.
all right.
Yeah, so how were things in Gettysburg?
Oh, on this one, there's only one word off the page, so it's going to be quicker.
Death by PowerPoint. Are you all dead yet?
I'm dead on the inside.
Good.
No, but I noticed a lot of people start pulling out flasks, so.
Okay. So, as already noted by the video clip you guys seen, they do kind of behave as first responders here. They're here to do something. We're not really sure what, other than stop Spike, I guess? It worked out great for them. It worked out great for Rarity, right? No, they didn't save the day at all. They did nothing. They're an utter failure if this is their job.
Well, then watch what you send them. I mean, I'm sorry, but if some foreign army invades Texas, they're not going to call the Houston Texans.
Okay, allow me.
Well, maybe the one guy whose name escapes me. JJ Watts. Yeah, he could probably stop like half an army by himself.
But Equestria has cadence.
That's the Crystal Empire.
So, allies? Still allies.
They're like Guam.
I mean, Jake, Houston knows what's Lewis now, though, so, I mean...
Slide.
I'd like to draw everyone's attention to the single most used frame in all of Pony music videos everywhere.
With Rarity looking like a whore. Tell me I'm wrong.
Painted harder.
They're not. She looks more like she's at Las Vegas or something.
And why do you find in Las Vegas?
What?
Your wife is bad, you should feel bad.
Okay, Flash, sit down.
I don't know. It's kind of switching back and forth right now between Rarity and Celestia.
Okay, but specifically about this scene, it's going to highlight what we see about the Wonderbolts over and over.
You already know.
While the Wonderbolts are really hyped up, every single time we hear about them, they never live up to the expectations they're given. Here they're being rescued by their biggest fangirl.
So they're the Navy.
that they're that hyped up in the equestrian community, but that got me thinking, if they don't live in any of these capacities we've seen so far, yet they're the very best at one specific sport type thing. Slide, please. The closest analogy that I can find is that they're Olympians. They don't really compete with other teams. They're the very best at what they do. And most of the rest of the time that they're not competing, they're standing around looking famous and endorsing things and making a lot of money for doing nothing.
Calgary.
That wasn't me. That was all him.
Calgary. All right, fanfic guys, remember that pun. I want to use it sometime.
But I think that about sums it up. Slide, please. And this guy eats like Michael Phelps, so All right, one more slide because you have to have a question slide with some kind of meme on there.
1 AP.
All right.
Order Brad Cooper.
Okay, so I think at this point we're gonna do questions.
Unless anybody else has any theories, you or Josh?
I kind of do.
All right, yeah. I told Josh he better bring something or else. So.
All right. Well, thing is that I don't really think I need to point this out, but Equestria does have a military. We see the Royal Guard, and they do have a military. It's just the question is, are the Wonderbolts a part of that? And we honestly don't know. But one thing we do recognize is that Rainbow Dash joined the Wonderbolts Reserve, and she did a boot camp.
She had to pass the test.
Yeah, she had to pass the test. She had to do a boot camp in the loosest sense of the word, and
She's a filthy reservist.
Oh, they don't?
Try me, sir.
You're Canadian.
Yeah, so even
What was that? Say it again.
At least we don't say a boot.
Play Canada, play Canada.
Okay, children, okay.
Okay, so we're trying to find a wireless mic so we can start taking some questions. We got one right there. So if anyone has a question or a comment or something, you can go ahead and hold your hand up, and the ancient one shall come across.
Awesome. All right, number one.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is that we honestly don't know. There's honestly not enough information to make a solid confirmation on what the Wonderbolts actually are.
And I think that's for the better, because that means that we can sort of play with it. Like we can have, again, because my roots are in fan fiction, you can do art or a story about them being an Olympic team or them being part of the military, and you can sort of play with it.
Yeah, I think the only people who actually dread new episodes coming out are fanfic writers, because it's like, oh
yes.
no, my fanfic is invalid now.
True statement. But I mean, they are an established sports team. They were competing in the Equestria Games for Cloudsdale.
So we've had members of the U.S. Army have been in Olympic teams too.
I'm just saying, it's
Russian hockey team.
Quiet, you.
They're military-esque, but it's hard to say if they are strict actual military.
I refuse to take advice from someone wearing a license plate on their shoulder. I'm just kidding. All right, we have some questions.
I think we're ready to start doing questions.
Questions, all right, I'll start right here.
We need a volunteer.
Yes, name and
I'm Justin. I want to ask.
Hey!
Yes, Joe, sorry.
I want to ask, since it could be that the Wonderbolts are like the Air Force and the Royal Guard are like the normal military, what do you guys think like the aquatic military would be? Do you think it's like Navy, or do you think it's like sea ponies?
sea ponies.
You have now triggered Silvermane. Don't do that.
I hate sea ponies. Loathe them. Next.
I didn't know this because it's kind of true.
Mr. Wonderbolt.
We say that until the agents fly overhead and you praise the Air Force.
Hey, so how's that F-35? Well, let me tell you something.
When your branch can annihilate the entire entire planet within half an hour. Haters are going to hate.
Okay, we have another question.
All right, what are your thoughts of the Royal Guard being a police force rather than a military?
Well, I have thought about that. The only time we ever really see the Royal Guard is in Camelot and when they are guarding one of the princesses. So, and again, it's one of those things where we haven't really seen exactly what they do. I've always likened them to a military force, and but that's all headcanon.
Yeah, we haven't even seen much of a police force, have we?
Well, no.
I would say because they have the captain
Well,
of
no,
the
we
Royal Guard.
did see some sort of security in Appaloosa's Most Wanted with Sheriff Silverstone.
Well, yeah, but it seems like it really depends on what city you are, because I've always had this headcanon that it's like Equestria operates with city-states. It's like cities are like city-states because they have their own national anthems, they have their own cultures, they compete in the Olympics.
So the town in Kitty Map would be City 17?
I understood that reference.
Alright, we got a question.
If you have a question, raise your hand. Otherwise, shut up.
But you are right. They do have officers' uniforms. You see Spitfire in a different uniform during the Wonderbolt Academy. They do have other uniforms other than the flight suits. So
all officers so far, commanders, admirals, lieutenants.
No wonder they always fail. There are no NCOs.
the enlisted force is the backbone of all military.
Let's let this gentleman speak.
So, my question is more about the Wonderbolt Academy. Have you guys ever thought about instead of being like a boot camp, more like an NCO Academy, during how long this span is, only being a couple weeks?
What do you mean, like, what's the question?
I have thought that it's kind of like Annapolis and West Point a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of it actually being a boot camp to instill values and things of that nature, like you guys up there all the day in the military, you know how you go to NCO Academy or you go for extra training and stuff like that. It's usually like a 2-week course or a 3-week course.
Well, it could be, but then the question comes to where are they coming from? Like, you wouldn't see a civilian go directly to, advanced leaders course or something like that. So there has to be unless you're trying to put forth the headcanon that every single Pegasus from birth is enlisted, which is kind of awesome, but...
Well, they are considered military from birth. Considering their history, they're a military culture from history.
All right, we got a question back there from the man with the ears. Pony ears, I'm sure your pony ears are fine.
Well, if that's the case, what would build off of that? Maybe it's actually an extension of Officer Candidate School.
What?
Officer Candidate School.
OCS? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what it is, but all I know is I have fighting there come over there and smack you because your rank is upside down on your arm.
Wait, what?
No, I know it's cosplay. I know. Like I said, I'm just like, no.
No, what is it?
Put it down.
Different branch.
Down, boy.
Yes. All right, so
we fight about this all the time.
Hi, Jake. You're a great editor. I don't get to use you enough. Second of all, my sort of thought on the Royal Guard is that I don't really think that they are the standing military force. I think they're more akin to, you know how like
Secret Service maybe?
Not Secret Service, but more like the guards in front of Buckingham Palace. I think they're more. Yeah, they're pretty much like they're enlisted officers, but they're not like combat ready or anything. Well, they probably are combat ready, but they're more like a security force than they are like an actual tomb guard.
Oh, so you're saying they're like a ceremony, like the cross between the Buckingham Palace Guards and Olympians?
Yeah, sort of. Maybe even like a national secret service. Because I mean that's about you don't see them have a standing military. They might be militia at least. That's all I know.
You also notice I mentioned...
Well, actually, I think it's maybe the first time I haven't seen you stumbling around drunk, so maybe we can just...
All right, next question.
Next question.
Hello, a while back I did a infograph on the Wonderbolts, and I got some feedback from the community about my information on it. I was wondering if I could leave this with you too, since you're the subject matter expert for your critiques on this.
What is that?
The infograph on the Wonderbolts I posted online.
Oh, we can get that at some point.
No, it's a question, can I leave it with you, that's all.
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
The green hair and the ridiculous gloves there. I like that fashion statement. Just saying.
Going off of, say, with the Canadian Guard being the main Royal Guard, maybe the Wonderbolts came from a sort of aerial recon, not actually fighting, but sort of going out and getting everything, the information, and then sending troops to the ground.
Entirely possible. Like I said, all these things were equally possible. We got that basic history of them during testing 1, 2, 3, but it didn't really go that in depth.
EMP guard possibly still is. There might be a guard outside of the doors. You really don't know.
And that's the frustrating part. It's like, we don't know, we want to know, but at the same time, we don't want to know.
Which question, sir?
Yeah, it seems like the Wonderbolts could be performing a reconnaissance type function, like the U2 or the SR-71, and perform all these sports activities to maintain readiness, so they're not cold when they go out to do a mission.
You know, that brings to mind that they might be doing it for spare cash, kind of like a civilian job. We'll perform for you on the side. Fund our unit.
What?
So basically, they're like, go fund me.
But they are out, according to page in one of the more recent episodes, talking about going into too many spoilers. There's a part where she says they save the car she's on and they fly, like they're about to topple the regime, and then the Wonderbolts show up and save them. And so it's like civil, I don't know what they're doing, patrolling there, but random save the day stuff, like when they randomly showed up for Spike. I don't know what was going on.
Vigilante superheroes.
Vigilante superheroes. I actually had thought, like, occasionally the Wonderbolts seem to act like superheroes, just randomly showing up to try and save the day.
Hello. Language, please. I was going to say, are they really the Royal Guard, not the Wonderbolts? I don't think they're trained to fight, per se. Like, we've seen them fight before, like against changelings and stuff, but what's the point of them? Other than just looking like a unified force for Celestia, so she looks good.
You know, that's okay, well, I think I can add on to your little theory there. It's like, if your theory was true, then that would mean that the first response during Secret of My Excess was just them being cocky. Because isn't that the only time we've seen them be a first response?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But then, okay, we also, I mean, if I may, we have to remember the sort of meta context, and that the real reason they were there was for the King Kong reference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the difficult thing about this kind of slice of lifey type show is sometimes the things that are ill-defined can be used for different reasons. Like if they want this reference or they want this joke, they can sort of put it in there because they haven't firmly established it yet.
Yeah, but they're willing to let one of their teammates fall from the sky.
Maybe they didn't like it.
To answer the original question about the guards just standing around, maybe they aren't very good at fighting, but it's kind of an established procedure that if you look intimidating, a lot of people who try to go attack something won't. Of course, none of us really think of the Royal Guard as very intimidating, considering how much they get their butts kicked around by the changelings, but it's a nice theory.
I mean, when other titans attacked Ponyville, it's the Wonderbolts weren't anywhere to be found. It's like Bugbear, no Wonderbolts. Plenty of things, no Wonderbolts.
This happens on such a regular basis. So,
Where were you, Dusty Cat? And you're wearing Wonderbolts uniform. Where were you?
Where was I when?
When the Bugbear attacked Ponyville.
Over there. I was in Canada! Holding a freaking flying synopsis for all the flyers up there who had just woken up from 1,000 years sleep. Where do you think I was?
You see what I mean? Okay, I'm honestly disturbed by how well you know the military because I see that happening. Like, we had a total disaster, but
I don't envy their stand-about flight.
I know. What do we do?
You said you didn't grab this copy? Not that cover yet. No?
Okay.
No, I read it.
Question?
It's good enough for me.
I was going to say, how should we train Canadian combat if 6 girls can beat every bad man?
Well, are you saying girls can't be intimidating?
No, but how does
Check your privilege. Check your privilege. I'm so screwed right now.
I will say
I honestly don't think it's a fair comparison
answer to make because the Wonderbolts, yeah, Wonderbolts could be trained, they could be not. But the thing is that the main six have a fix all the things laser.
I think you really should pay attention to the fact that you have these princesses and Twilight Sparkler who has practically near superhuman strength and superhuman powers on occasion when necessary. If you have someone who is a superhero, you cannot have an effective police, military, or justice system to deal with it. That's why they're super.
Yes, we noticed that there's a lot of vigilantism in the Equestria. There's a lot of vigilantism in Equestria. There's like no response. There's like a very, very minimal security force. So maybe they actually build up the maybe vigilantism is a value that they have. It's just saying.
What's your question?
All right, now, would you consider the Royal Guard to be like the Marine Corps then? Since... Hold on.
Well, they stand around with blank expressions, never talk, and when they do things, they kind of fail at it, so...
That's more like
I was going through the days, and all these cities in the Marine Corps guarding the president. And obviously, you see the Royal Guard guarding Princess Celestia.
Yes, we do. I taught people to read maps. Genius. No, I don't. You're telling me I don't know what I trained. You're a band nerd.
Someone's a little triggered.
Now, one more time. I don't hit civilians. Get a haircut and get a job, hippie. Yes.
Now you've done it, Jake.
That's fine. I was broke. I apologize.
Oh, now, boys.
See, this is the thing you know about the military. We all talk so much crap about each other, but we got each other next. Except for the Coast Guard. I'm kidding. I love the Coast Guard. I ship it.
The fanfic should be out within 3 weeks.
You missed.
Or did I? Dusty Cat, promoting hot, sweaty man love wherever he goes.
Friendship is manly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right, we're having a panel. Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot. All those insults you gave to me, you're a poo-poo face.
You're a duty head. All right.
You're a meathead.
Meanie.
When we saw this, when we were exploring the castle that was in the Evergreen Forest, they actually saw some sets of armor that was significantly more protective than what the Royal Guard currently uses. And the implication is that it was there for 1,000 years ago. Is there a possibility that what we see now for both the Wonderbolts and the Royal Guard is the same institutions, but just suffering 1,000 years worth of peace and drawdown?
I often said that makes total sense. They've been rolled together by peace. I mean, think about it. For 1,000 years, there was pretty much nothing, as far as we can tell. There's never been any mention of major conflict after Nightmare Moon. So it could be that, they don't need it anymore because,
Yeah, and Celestia did that all by herself. Can you say best princess?
Yes. I can if we're talking about Twilight.
It's Luna.
Oh yes, the Tantabus. I created the Tantabus.
Oh, thank you. I created Tantabus because I enjoy being punished in my dreams.
That's my fetish.
You would never see the moon without the sun.
Huh?
You would never see the moon without the sun.
Maybe all I want to see is the moon.
Well, you can't.
Whoa.
There's no sun. Besides,
Just when all science and
there's
stuff.
nothing but moon. How does science that brain?
Yeah, because the world of magical
of talking unicorns and dragons that can transmit messages by their breath has to be totally physically logical.
Yes!
Alright, children. Hey, Cyborg, you have a question?
Oh, wait, we already have it.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Did we get any useful info from the Rainbow Dash Spitfire Friends Forever comic?
Not canon, I'm sorry.
We did that. Spitfire doesn't know how to deal with kids.
Which we do.
Do you think that the Wonderbolts operate as a separate entity, independent, or do you think they operate as a branch of the government?
You mean kind of like either as an independent service, kind of like their own branch, like Air Force, Army, or maybe a PMC? Is that what you're saying? Like the difference?
I'm saying like they operate on their own terms. They have their own bosses. Like who do they report to?
Well, you could make the argument that because their history is so rooted in, like when Celestia told them to do that, told them to form them up, you could make the argument that they still directly answer to Celestia or a representative of Celestia. But 1,000 years is that, well, hundreds of years is a long time, and they could have gone independent. So we don't know.
Okay. You had a question over there?
Hi there. In a lot of fanfics where we do see a military force depicted, okay, it seems there's this bizarre idea that Equestria is a split military, a lunar force and a solar force. Obviously, this seems slightly ridiculous and redundant.
Well, it would think so, except for the fact that we've seen that the day guards and the night guards, we haven't seen bat ponies since Luna eclipsed. Even though, but I was actually just a panel, M.A. Larson said he originally wanted in episode 100 for them to be the day guard and the night guard outside making fun of Celestia and Luna.
Okay, that sounds cool, but would it make more sense, like, for a solar guard to be the general force, okay, the standard force, and the lunar forces to be like the elites, like the equivalent of the SAS or the Marines or the, I don't know, Missile Command or that kind of thing? The Skyfall team?
Well, they're not too elite because they let Twilight break into the Star Swirl of the Bearded Wing. It's like, oh hey, Twilight, you're wearing a jumpsuit and you got an eye patch and you look incredibly sketchy. I'll let you into this really secure place.
Oh, okay, point me. What's up?
I think that whenever we have these discussions, we're trying to get really hung up on the combat aspect of it, but like, maybe if they're not really meant for combat at all, even if it's meant to, you know, do tricks and look pretty like Captain America or the Old Guard.
Hey, Captain America is awesome.
I'm in the Old Guard. All right. And I do look good, I mean, I'll admit that, but it's at the same time, but no, I understand your point, like, you're talking about, like, the Old Guard is the Army's premier ceremonial unit. We have the Tombs of the Unknown Soldier Guards, we have the U.S. Army Drill Team, and all these other things. It's meant for sort of the show and pomp and circumstance part. So, it could be, that might be.
Yeah, and even then, it's like the Pomp and Circumstance Guard does, it has a purpose. I mean, it's there to keep tradition alive. It's there to get people to join. It's there to build up patriotism, esprit de your service. And
Fucking bad nerd!
He's been out for a while, he forgot.
Even the U.S. Navy still sails the USS Constitution, so every single branch can have some sort
Well, I mean, there's budget cuts, man. They got no choice.
Oh yeah, sequestration hit us hard.
Yes.
This is an odd question, this is more speculation. How effective do you think it would be if maybe either the Wonderbolts or perhaps even another military unit ran a command, like a small command force to tell the Wonderbolts, you know, if there's a danger anywhere in, like, say, Equestria or maybe even a smaller region? Like maybe they could run drills with a small communication force.
Well, here's the thing. If they needed it, it would exist. Because if there were problems, like big problems that warranted a force like that, it would exist. Because apparently they just don't need it. Because that's how things happen. Because something goes wrong, government says, we need some sort of thing to counteract this thing next time it happens.
All right, I think we got time for one more over here.
Which is why I can say something, that's why I hate in stories, fanfiction and stories when they have people. No, never mind. Sorry.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So, do you think you're looking at this from too modern a perspective with professional military, and they would have to be, as an alternative, professional athletes? That's a very recent turn of events where economically athletes could support themselves or make millions. If you look at just in our father's age or grandfather's time, professional athletes had to do real jobs on the side when they weren't being athletes. And if you go way back, athletics was just a means of honing oneself for warfare, whether that's the javelin, the marathon. These were to celebrate military acts. So if you look at it from a more anachronistic point of view, there isn't the necessary dichotomy between the athlete Wonderbolts and the quasi-military Wonderbolts, or even Wonderbolts that have to be sanctioned by the government, because again, until relatively recently, you could literally raise your own regiments to fight, such as in the Civil War.
I think that's what someone else said before about how, you know, they've been lulled by peace, like that started out, but it's sort of evolved to the point now where it's just, you know, being the ceremony. I mean, look, when they got activated for the first time, I mean, tell me that doesn't, and I'm not, honestly, I'm not trying to be antagonistic, but tell me that doesn't sound like what happens when a military hasn't been engaged for a while and all of a sudden combat happens. Those first couple of weeks or months are kind of like, oh crap, what are we doing? Because we haven't been trained for warfare up to that time.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Blue Angels analogy?
We're kind of running out of time here. We got to get ready for the next panel. So we appreciate everybody showing up, et cetera, et cetera. And
sorry to cut it short, that we couldn't get to everyone's questions.
Yeah,
Time constraints.
We're doing the best we can. Hope you appreciate it. Hope you liked it.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming.
One last thing. Oh shit, there we go, yeah.
They do a lot more. They do a lot more.
That was my question. I thought it was a good question. You passed me up twice. It's okay.
But yeah, I think
I'm a chick, sorry.
I still say that what all Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds do is they just perform. That's all they do. Is they just perform. They're more or less a publicity stunt for the military to try and get people excited, interested.
It's like this flashy stuff, and then maybe they show up if there's a little bit of danger, but if that's the ship. Hired militia is another thing.
Well, yeah, it almost looks, to me, my own take on it is they almost seem to be like their own branch, maybe not their own branch, but kind of like how the Marine Corps is under the Navy. They might be under the, but the colors and everything.
And I'm just like,
oh yeah, the thing that indicates to me that they are their own service is the fact that they have their own reserves, they have their own academy, they fill a multitude of roles, but they're just the most public one, which makes sense that it's the most public one, are their performances. A lot of people think of the Air Force, they think of fighter pilots. Well, why do they think of fighter pilots? The Blue Angels and Thunderbirds. And so,
I'm just saying, I think that's probably the way it was written, but without military knowledge or background. I think from a civilian standpoint, it's just kind of a pretty flashy.
At the end of the day, the show didn't. They don't have military consultants. No one is
exactly. They're not paying anybody to tell them how to do it right.
They're just rating the show the way
and that's why they're getting it wrong. So anyway, thank you for taking the time to answer that. So, all right.
You see my office.
Is FOB. There he is. It's kind of like an intro group, or is there an actual growing?
You know, we have a lot of things. We have our staff, obviously, which is where we do all our YouTube stuff, all our Tumblr stuff. We used to have a website where we did posts, but we had some issues come up with that, and the website got shut down, so we're trying to get that back up. We have a Skype group, which is just a general chat for anyone who's in. And we welcome civilians and military to come in and discuss. But it's a lot of military. It's mostly military, but we don't discourage civilian participation. And we really just try to see the military perspective. Starting out, we did a lot of military Brony panels, just because we have the guys, we have the talent. We have Jake, we have Jake the Army guy, Tweet, who's a PA guy for the Army. That's what he does for a living, so obviously having him do panels is great. Josh, his YouTube channel is all about being out in the public. He's no stranger to public speaking as a presentation, so he's got that, and then we got in military in general, you know, kind of teaches you to be professional, speak publicly, give a proper presentation, be professional, just all that stuff.
It's like voice force.
And some people pick it up, some people don't. We got people like me who come from a very diverse military background, in the fact that starting out I went to a service academy, things didn't quite work out there, so now I'm enlisted, but I still got all that officer training. Look at, this is how you should act, this is how you give a presentation, this is how you present yourself. And so, I mean, I've got that sort of public speaking thing now too.
So how would I get about getting into the Skype group?
That's a bit tricky. Catherine, see, I'm not too involved with the Skype group because, first of all, Skype doesn't like my computer. And so I'm not really frequent on it. But even when it's a bit more cooperative, it's just I'm so busy with various projects and various other commitments, I don't have time to really show up much. But she's very active, Catherine, right there. She can probably help you out.
Well, I appreciate it. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
But I didn't have a sign to put on the back. You know, like the medical spell.
That's to be expected though, that's a con.
Yeah, it is. Well, I was just asking him about the Skype group for Bob.
Yeah, there are civilians on it. Most of them are like people who have family or friends.
No, I was just curious how to get in on that.
Oh,
if there's any way.
No, the website has been down. Yes.
Any member can invite anybody else.
Yes. Yeah. Any member. So if you know anyone in
Okay, so theoretically, right? They could just send their username to the FOB Equestria email, and so the staff could add it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
For Dad, and then
background, so whenever they try to use that,